Welcome to everyone. I hope you can hear me well. It is a Friday afternoon. It's been so long since we got a chance to chat. I'm just making sure that you guys can hear me. Hoping that noise down there is good. I hope you can hear me. Okay. It's been so long since we got to chat. So I have two screens. Don't worry when I'm looking there and there. Here it's Facebook and YouTube. Here it's Instagram. So I've put in the topic, the site. Some of you have seen it. I am answering questions that you have been sending me on the inbox, asking me about the plant medicine, the D word. I'm gonna not mention because YouTube will never forgive me, and of course Facebook. So we're gonna use plant medicine. I'm not gonna use also the other words because they tend to not everybody's sort of triggered by it. So Facebook might just take my video down. So I wanted to answer your questions just because people are asking me, am I gonna go crazy? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna what? So I'm gonna be answering as much as those questions as possible. So I hope you're having a lovely Friday afternoon. Is it already afternoon? I think it is. Yes, it's already afternoon. Lindiwe, hey Lindiwe, la Sunday. Lindiwe says she's looking forward to Sunday. Sunday is our river day, so yeah, that happens on a Sunday. We pray there by the river. So today we are having our first public sacred ceremony for ayahuasca. We are going to be starting at 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. tomorrow. So just right there, I've gotten so many questions. Okay, by the way, we are fully booked. We've been fully booked the whole week. I am so sorry to everyone who wanted to come through today that did not get spacey, but I've put up a poster already for the new date, which is the 28th of October. 2-3 weeks from now. So if you would like to come through, make sure that you book in time because the slots fill up too quickly. And I'm gonna put up another poster for a date for San Pedro. This one is for ayahuasca. I'm gonna explain in what is the difference between the two, what happens between the two, who dies, who doesn't die. No, nobody dies, guys. I promise you. Like, dying is like the last thing you can think of. Losing your mind, not gonna happen. So let's start with that. Number one, will I lose my mind? Okay, before we talk about will you lose your mind, maybe let me just explain to people who don't know what plant medicine is, so that you do know. If you have questions, please also put them in, just in case maybe you sent a question and I forget, just put it in again, so that we can talk about this and you can have your answers, because a lot of people are panicking. They know that they need to do this, and that is the thing. Plant medicine always calls your name when it's time for you to heal in that way. But because we don't know, you're anxious and all these things, you don't know what to expect. So then this is why I thought, let me just do a video and explain it to you guys. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Nobody's gonna die. Definitely, I'm sure of that. Now, for the past 3 years, I've been doing this work like so many times. Like, I've taken so many people through the journey, working with my teacher. They are an amazing couple that they've taught me so much. Working with a shaman, a great shaman that does this like almost every day, if I can say so. And I've seen a lot of things, but dying is not one of them. So we're gonna discuss that. So Hlu says, hey sis Busi, I've been wanting to do a medicine for a long time now. I definitely no, I will be doing it with you. Are you going to have these every month? Yes, ma'am. We're going to have them almost every month. So just make sure that you look out for the posters on my Facebook or Instagram. We're going to have San Pedro. San Pedro will always do it in a mountain setup, because I'll explain why. And we will have ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is the one that we do overnight, because it works with the moon. So when you do it over the moon energy, it works better. When you do San Pedro during the sun energy, it works better. So I'll just explain why that. So Lerato says not dying. Yeah, definitely not dying. So I don't see, also someone was saying something on Instagram quickly. Angie says, I'm looking forward to the ceremony, a bit anxious though. Okay, Angie, yeah, like definitely, you are definitely needing to hear this right now. Okay, so what is plant medicine? Plant medicine is medicine that is used. I don't want to say the words that are going to trigger the people in Facebook, like the P word. Oh my goodness. But it is medicine that helps with different situations that we're going through. So one of the things that this medicine, for a lot of studies have come up for so many years, since ancient of times, that shows that this medicine helps people to get through addictions. Now, of course, we know that addictions is not something that you wake up and you're like, I want to get addicted to this because it's just fun. Well, I mean, there are people who get addicted to drugs because of fun, but it's not that much. Most people get addicted to things like alcohol, like sex, like food, because they're trying to deal with the problem in their lives. So now this alcohol or this food or this sex or this is whatever that they are doing to numb the pain is helping them to cope with their situations. So then, because you get used to numbing yourself so much, then you cannot stop. So then, of course, now it's a problem. And of course, once it's a problem, then it becomes something that you can't sort of uh, deal with it yourself. So that's why you'll have to go to a rehab. You'll have to, drink medication for whatever. I don't know if you've got a medication for addicts, like to come out of, such substances, but then you have to get through that process. Okay, so then the next thing, it will be anxiety and depression. So, because this plant medicine is able to trigger certain parts of the brain that could have chemical imbalance or that could have trauma that has been stored there for so long. So, this medicine is able to trigger those emotions for them to be cleared up. Now, if 20 years ago you got into a car accident and that traumatized you, but then you couldn't be able to deal with it, today is 20 years later, still you are suffering from that emotion. But the good thing about it is that if it comes up now for healing purposes, you can be able to deal with it, because you are no longer 10 years. If you were 10 years, you are 30 years now. You have the power to deal with your problems. So that is why the plant medicine has an ability to bring up things that you need to deal with. So during the process of the plant medicine, so this one that we're doing today is ayahuasca. It takes about 4 to 5 hours for you to go through the process. So we call it a journey. We call it a journey because you go through so many levels of your pain, of your demons, of things that have stood in front of you. And also, I mean, most of the time for me, when I don't remember ever taking ayahuasca and seeing my past, I always see the future. But that was because when I started to take ayahuasca, I had already done a lot of healing in terms of my past, because my past was one of the hugest things that were just horrible for me. So when I started to being personal development, I dealt with my past. So the first time when I took ayahuasca, actually I wasn't even taking it for anything serious. I was just curious. And that, like I'm saying, the medicine always calls on you. And I just couldn't stop myself from wanting to take it. And I was anxious and I was thinking I was going to just lose my mind. But I felt like there was no way I can't take this. So when I took it, all I saw was the future. All I saw was the things I needed to do, who I'm becoming, who I'm gonna be. So then I saw life, the timeline of things that needs to happen in my life. And the more I look back at that time, probably that was like 6 years back, these things are happening because I actually took that line, that journey. So plant medicine is something that you drink. It's medicine. We put it in water, you drink it, and in 30 minutes, you feel yourself become your real self. So when I'm saying you feel yourself become your real self, you are now not apologetic about who you are. You know, when every time when people are asking you, who are you, you say, I'm a mother, I'm a this, I'm a this. When you start to be yourself, when people will ask you during that medicine time, and that 1 hour later, once you drink it, you wouldn't say, I'm a wife, I'm a social worker, I'm a this. You would actually tell them who you are. You would say, I am somebody that is like this, that is about this, that wants to get this done. You will say who you really are. And the good thing why we take plant medicine is because you can't stop it. You can't stop you being real you. So life has taught us, you are a girl, you're supposed to be like this. You are a boy, you can't cry. You are a woman, you're supposed to act like this. You know, this is good for you. You must have a job to survive. You must have a relationship to be happy. You must, you know, all these things that life has taught us. You must, this is how beautiful people look like, this is how rich people look like. So all the time you are not yourself because you're trying to fit in with your boss. Sometimes your boss thinks you are good. Then the next thing you're supposed to fit in with your partner, that your partner doesn't leave you. The next thing you're supposed to be a great mother so that your children don't hate you. You know, at all times in the day, in our lives, there is somebody that has given us a template, and we are trying to fit ourselves there. It can be work, it can be business. Now you're in a boardroom, you're supposed to act like this. You can't be this. You must, you know, this. So 1 hour after I've drank the medicine, that all does not matter. Like, definitely, I always say to people, please switch off your phone because we don't want you going up and dumping everybody like that. It's like you come out of my life. No, I mean, you need to do it sober because, I mean, like, there's a reason why you're holding on to those people, even if you're not supposed to do them, but there's a reason why you're holding on to them. So maybe you have to deal with that reason first before you dump them. Who knows? I mean, I'm just talking. I don't know. So 1 hour later, you are at the stage where your higher self is functioning. So now, what normally then will happen there is that your higher self will then be, your ego will start to fight your higher self. So when your ego is fighting your higher self, that is when then we will say you are going through the stuff. You are going the pain. It's very painful when your ego is fighting your higher self. Because you know what the ego says? The ego says, no, this one is a girl. She's supposed to be like this. No, this one is broke. She can't have this. Oh, and then your higher self says, no, but you are this. Then that conversation in your mind is the most painful thing, when you hear your ego arguing with your higher self and you are there to watch. You are there to watch this conversation. That is when then I say to you, your higher self would say, at 10, you know what happened at 10? Actually, what was happening was this one, this. And your ego will be like, we can't deal with 10 things. That thing will kill her. Let's not even go there. And your husband will be like, no, you know what is blocking you from this and this and this? You said you want this and this in your life. You know what is blocking you is this and this. And your ego will be like, no, don't talk about that. She's not ready for that. She will need to be broke because she's used to being broke. She does, you know how you self-sabotage things because your mind is set in you being not that thing. And then every time God says you are great for this, you are ready for this, you tell God, I don't have money. Remember, I'm old now. Remember, I can't have that. So during that journey, that is what happens. Your higher self is telling you this stuff. Your ego is like, oh, hell no, this is not happening. So it is a process that is very tenacious, like it's tense between the two. And these are both your ego. You need it. Your ego will take care of you. Your ego will tell you that you know, your ego is that thing that protects you in your physical conscious mind. But your higher self is the thing that is God in you that says you are that. But then remember, the ego has been taught and culturized and traditions and all these. So the ego is trying to keep up with the peace that you are supposed to live by the way you were taught. You are supposed to go through, everybody hates their job. Why do you think you're special? Everybody has bad relationships. Why do you think you must have a nice one? That, do you even know what that is? So you will have this conversation. This is what people say, then you lose your mind. So this is where people say, oh my God, you actually see your whole entire life passing by in your eyes, and then you will go crazy, you will go mad, da 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 da. Nah, you're not going mad. It's just that conversation. But then sometimes you find somebody who is facilitating the session. That is I think when you're in an ayahuasca ceremony, the biggest thing is the person who is putting you through the journey. I am the luckiest because the people who taught me, they were really people who cared about my journey. They were not just giving me the medicine to just kill me. Like, that's why I just roll on the floor and get messed up and come out of there needing counseling. No, there were people who explained it nicely to me, who showed me the way, who held my hand throughout the journey. And then I could understand my ego and I could understand my higher self. And I came out with good results at the end. So now, that is what people will say, you will go crazy, because now you are starting to get two versions of you that you can't really control anymore. They are happening and you are sitting there and you are watching. So what you need to do is knowing that you are going to have to go through these conversations, and they happen like waves. So you get like a 2-minute conversation, it will go, and it will stop. And then you'll get like 1 minute breathing, like okay, that was hard. And then you get another conversation about another thing and it stops. And you get another conversation. So these conversations will go on like that, giving each other like 5 minutes each between for about 4 hours. What you need to do during those 4 hours is take notes, as many notes as possible. The thing is that you need to listen really what the higher self is saying and hear the argument of the ego. Because all the ego needs is to be told that it's okay. So between what the higher self is saying and the ego panicking, you need to just watch that, because what the higher self is saying is the real stuff. What the ego is panicking about is your fears. So let's just say most of the things that will start happening, there will be a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how you're going through it. There will be 3 minutes of you just being angry. When you are feeling like that, the ego is fighting something. You need to ask it nicely. Ego, what is it? Why are you angry? Then the ego will start saying, oh, I'm angry because I have to be on another diet and I'm fat and everybody thinks I'm lazy and it's even hot now. I'm probably going to start my thighs. The ego, when you're in ayahuasca ceremony, it's loud. It's dramatic. I promise you, it will tell you things that you'll be like, oh, really? Did you have to say that? So it will tell you, once you ask it, why are you angry? It will tell you, I'm angry about the fact that I will never have to wear my I can't get over this diet. Every time I try the diet, I fail. I will always be fat. I will never look good. I will never find a boyfriend. What? My husband will leave me. Yay! It will go all crazy. You let it go all crazy, and then it will stop. It will give the other people a chance to put their opinions on the table. Then what will normally happen after that conversation goes like that, then the higher self will talk. In this sense, because it's ayahuasca is a mother image. Ayahuasca is a more caring one. I have like an issue with ayahuasca. I feel the pain more with ayahuasca. Of course, I'm more masculine and I'm more of a man. I think like a man. Most of the things that I do in the planet, it's men stuff. Like, I do men things all the time. So for me, feminine things, I have to think it. I have to like, okay, now I want to be feminine. Like, let's do this. Like, but just in general, when I wake up in the morning, I just think like, that way. Like my masculine energy is way higher. So San Pedro is more masculine. So I handle San Pedro way better than ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is the mother energy, is the moon energy. My moon and my mother stuff is not great. So it just, again, it depends with what's happening. How is your astrology chart looking? My astrology chart doesn't look good when those things come through. So of course my sun stuff, of course my astrology is amazing, right? So that makes sense. But okay, now then the medicine will start talking to you about this issue. Then the medicine will say to you, would you not rather enjoy this body that is fat and that is here for now while you wait for the new one? What is wrong with enjoying this one? Why can't you buy a nice dress for this one? Stop buying the small clothes you put in your cupboard with tags and hoping one day you'll slim. Why can't you buy a nice dress and enjoy this body that you have right now, that then you will lose one day and then you will not have it anymore? So enjoy it. And then the medicine will just talk. So ayahuasca talks nicely. Now, San Pedro will give it to you. San Pedro will actually even give you tasks. San Pedro will tell you, when we finish this ceremony, you're going to go clean up your whole entire fridge. San Pedro will go like hard on you. But San Pedro, you are more awake on San Pedro, hence you could even write notes. You have the energy to write during a San Pedro session. You are in the mountains, you are walking, you have energy, you are ready to take action. San Pedro will actually give you specific results, a specific task. But ayahuasca, you are mostly just like sleeping on the mat, and you are, there's not much you can do. So, but it will then cancel you through this issue. It will say to you, like I'm saying, and this is just one aspect that one day the medicine told me. I'm giving you back notes 9 years back. My notes got from the medicine, and I used those notes, and I'm so glad I did, because it stopped the suffering. So the medicine is not taking your problems, but it's stopping the suffering. So then you will have a counseling session, like, this is what you do. But it's a good thing because it talks to you directly, because this is your higher self. It's not like general something that somebody is sitting across the table and is thinking maybe this can help you. No, this is like the exact thing that is a problem to you. So then you will get the advice you need. And then you will feel like, okay, why didn't I think of that? I'm so grateful. Then you'll be so grateful, and then you'll have like 1 minute break, and then it will start. Then maybe now you feel sadness. You feel your heart is wanting to come out. You feel so sad, you wanna cry, and you want to kill somebody. You are just now a mess all over again. Like, this is another 5 minutes later, 6 minutes later, 7 minutes later. Now you are so sad, you don't know what happened. Again, it's the ego now trying to fight another issue. Then you ask the ego, what is happening? Why are you so sad? Oh, I'm so sad, I'll never find a boyfriend. Oh my goodness, my marriage is so messy. Oh my goodness, I'm not even happy here. I've been married for 30 years. I've never been happy. I was just doing it for the children. The ego will go on and on and on and on. Now, that one thing I can warn you about is that the ego can be dramatic. It will tell you the things you've never thought yourself in your own mind, sitting at home, like thinking about your problems. The ego will go big. Then, of course, then you'll get a chance. Then it will stop, the ego giving it. And then the medicine will answer. The medicine will tell you exactly what's up. Now, I don't know what's up with that. I don't have notes on that one. But then you will get the counseling. So, like I'm saying, in San Pedro, probably San Pedro will be like, the next divorce lawyer is way. I'm joking. Yeah, but it gets that serious. Go to this website. I've been shown a website. I've been shown those kind of things by San Pedro, because San Pedro is more about action. But then ayahuasca will also then, like I'm saying, really, really, really counsel you and give you exactly the right stuff you need for yourself. So while this is happening, if you are not understanding the process right, you will just feel the sadness and it will go and you wouldn't know really what it was there for. And then you'll feel this and it will go and you'll not know what this was there for. So that is why it's important to have somebody who understands the medicine. And of course, the dosage that I'm giving you also determines how far you go and how quickly you go and how quickly you come back and da 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 da. So I'm not going to bore you with those details. And I mean, I have found out a good, amazing way of making sure that I read your. So when you come through, I take your date of birth, I read your astrology chart. So then, when I'm giving you the potion, I'm giving you the dosage. I look at your chart. What at this point right now is important. So your chart will tell me what is important in your life now is money, and I know how much dosage I have to give you if you have to go around your money issues. Then it's relationships. Maybe this is health. Maybe this is what. This is what. This is what. So I am giving you the because like I'm saying, I am more of a masculine person. I am all about results, results, results. So I want you to come out there with results. I know it's a bad thing, like to always want results in everything. Like it's that controlling energy, like I wanna get things done. And it works sometimes. Sometimes of course it's just wrong. But hey, whenever I can use it, I can use it. What can I say? As long as I'm not kidding anybody, right? Okay. So, will you lose your mind? No, you won't lose your mind. Would you feel pain? Yes, the ego is going to fight like no, but no, not physical pain. You feel emotional pain, a lot of emotional pain. But when you're walking with the waves, when you're riding the waves the correct way, and you have somebody who's holding your hand, who's holding the space for you, who's helping you run. It's like when you're in labor. Literally, if you've ever given birth to a child in natural, it is exactly like that. 1 minute you want to hold on to everything, you want the whole furniture and everybody, and you're holding people's hands, you are squeezing them, and then you get like a break to take a breather and drink water, and then it starts again. It's exactly like that. But it's not physical pain, of course, it's emotional pain. So now, if you have spiritual issues, this is a good place because also those spiritual issues show up to you. The good thing about spiritual issues is that you don't have to do anything about them. The emotions are the ones where the ego and the higher self are doing that, tag war. But the spiritual issues, they just happened nicely. And I always say to people, don't even think ukuthi idlozi lakho lizosukuma, idlozi lakho ngeke lisukume, liba happy idlozi lakho. Ungabhodla, of course, those kind of things that says that your idlozi is saying something, is enjoying this. It's like, well, thank you, child. Thank you for doing this. Hallelujah. But it's the spiritual part of things. You will just look at them, you will understand them, you will be like taught them, because spiritual stuff are the easiest that we can deal with in the physical plane, but we always make them more serious. But they are the easiest. Our problem is our emotions, because that's how God talks to us, and we always don't want to listen to God. The one person we don't want to hear from is God. And during an Ayahuasca ceremony or during a ceremony, you are fighting with God. God is like, yes, Tini, you need to get your mind correct. So that is what this is about. Okay, so I am answering a lot of your questions that you've been asking me in this story so that you can sort of chip in the parts of the things that you wanted to ask. So I'm going to get into the technical parts now. Let me just read your question. Lerato says, will I remember the conversation when the medicine was off? That's an amazing question. Yes, you remember everything. Now, remember, you don't lose your mind, but for 4 hours, you can't really control what your mind is thinking. That's the only thing. Your mind is like on our normal awake state, it's like a dream. Yeah, it's like you are in a dream. You see, in a dream, you remember a dream, but you can't really control what happens in the dream. You can see yourself clapping a person, and you're like, I woke up, ngamenza izinto ezisinaks, but you wouldn't be able to stop. But you remember the dream and you saw yourself doing this. So the whole entire time you will remember everything that happened, everything. And of course, at the end of the session, then I explain how do you go, because there's a lot of information that you download, then how do you go unpack little by little by little, because it helps to unpack little by little than trying to unpack everything at once. But you remember everything because your whole entire mind is there, but it's just that you can't control what you're thinking. So in a normal situation is like, you can turn on the TV and you can decide to switch it off. You can say, I want to watch a Generation. Okay, no, I don't want to watch Generation. I actually want to watch YouTube. You can decide. But when you are under the medicine, it's almost like you can't. You can only decide if you want to sleep like this or sleep like that, or stand up or sit down. But what is going in your mind, you can't really control. That is the only thing. But you remember everything that was going through your mind, but you just cannot stop it from happening. Just like in a dream. Okay, so somebody else says, San Pedro really spoke to me. I've been seeing the plant all over way before you advertised the ceremony. I was disappointed when it was postponed. Oh, yeah. So just like you're saying, the plant talks to you, and when you are ready for it, it tells you. You are scared of it, you are not scared of it. It just looks for you, and and there's of course a reason why you need it. So don't worry, our packaging is arriving this Friday, next Friday. Yes, it's 6 days from now. So we're gonna have our first ceremony probably that week, before the end of the month. Our San Pedro, say we will have it in October. It will happen in October, and of course we're gonna be doing it outside in the sun. And this one is the one that we do in the evening during the moon time. Okay, anybody else who's got a question? I've answered the important one. Am I gonna die? No. Okay. Somebody else asked, yes. Oh, weightless, you are beautiful. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay. So, any other questions you have, please put them on there. And I just now want to talk about the technical parts of it. So, Pulani says, can one deal with childhood traumas that we tend to block off our mind to sort it out sort it out in one session? Yeah, I mean, really, one session is what it takes. So just like I said, Pulani, it depends on how you are open to dealing with the medicine, to listen to the medicine, to, like not fighting it, understanding that you're not going to die. So that is why you need somebody who can make you feel safe. You're not going to die. I'm here. I'm watching you. And I know what to give you to take it off if you must. But, my teacher always says, Boosie, don't ever do that. Don't ever let a person come out of their suffering before their suffering is ended. So that, I mean, he taught me that don't even have stuff that will take off the edge. Because it's just like gymming. At the gym, you will do the 10 push-ups and they will feel bad, but then you're doing them because you know what is doing that for you. So, you hold on. Okay, so can you get one session done and you fix things? Yes, it can be one session, but then sometimes you might need 2 sessions. Sometimes you might need both the masculine and the feminine, which is the ayahuasca and the San Pedro. But be open and not have like, I want this, like go with the I am ready to receive attitude. Katleho says, hi, Busi, are we going to be able to drive after the session? Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's why I was saying I'm going to talk about the technicalities. After the ceremony, can you join the San Pedro ceremony? Yes. So you can give yourself a period of a week and then you can do the other. There are people who do it like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. People who are not scared of suffering. Mina ngiyasaba ukugowisha, guys, like zikale bese ngidazithuli. So I need like 7 days to just like come back to myself. I could recommend 7 days. There are people who take it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like the whole entire week, and they are just a mess. I can't handle that. So I normally would do 7 days between the two. Okay, so let me answer Katleho's question. Can you drive? So we start. So I'm talking about ayahuasca now. We start at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. you're going to be high for 4 hours. And the last hour at 11, it's the very most spiritual hour. That is when you come out. You come out there, you start to get sober, and you start to be like, oh my goodness, what just happened? I can't believe this. I can't believe that. I can't believe now I want to do this. I can't believe now I don't want to do this. Because that is how you get out of addictions. You get out of there like, I don't ever want to see alcohol ever. Like, don't ever give me that. I'm done with chips and Coke. I've seen people come out of Coke. So at 11 o'clock, it's that hour where everybody's just like, fuck it, I'm done. Like, you have gone through too many of those 5 minutes out, 5 minutes in, 5 minutes. It's not even 5 minutes in, 2 minutes out. You've gone through so many of them. When you get to 11 p.m., you're like, fuck it, I'm done. I don't wanna ever. So that hour is that hour like that. Come to Jesus hour. Then at 12 p.m. you should be fine. By then we have a fire. If you're hungry, but normally nobody's hungry by then, you can have soup, or because when we're preparing, you don't eat much. So at that time, sometimes 1% of people want to eat, like 0% mostly don't want to touch it. Unless you were the one who's facilitating. That time you're so hungry because you've been coaching on behalf of everybody. But normally nobody wants to. Then at that time, I normally say, I don't think you should stress yourself with driving. So that is why we normally say you can stay over and just relax and just reflect and just write down and just like put things into boxes of what just happened. But other people at that time, they just want to like get onto their own bed and they just like, oh my goodness, what just happened? So you can leave at the 12 p.m. hour. You can be able to drive depending on other people, but we stay throughout the next 6 hours, just making sure that you are safe, you are okay. And then it's at 6 a.m. you wanna have a party. Not really. The next 7 days, you're still gonna be going through. The medicine is gonna be working with you, but you will have your energy, you will be okay, you can drive, you can do anything. So yeah. But you wouldn't want to drink alcohol, you wouldn't want to do so many things that you shouldn't be doing. Like, your life for the 7 days will be automatically great until you decide to go back to the peak style you want to go back to. If you want, I mean, of course you can't go back, you shouldn't go back. Okay, so that was Katleho's question. Yeah, Bulana was saying, can you do it in one session? Yes, you can do it in one session, but don't say I want to do it in one session. Because sometimes you don't know what is more important in your healing process. So this trauma that you have, and you want to deal with this trauma that you have, which is a good thing, because when we start, we set the intention. But there are some things that sometimes you are just they are too big for you to even recognize that also you need to deal with. So that almost depends on what you are going through. Lerato says, after the ceremony, can we join the ceremony? Yes, I've already answered that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit more on the technicalities, but I've already talked about the times and all that. I want to just explain more of the technical stuff for the people who I always try to not tell people stories of what has happened in ayahuasca ceremonies, because everybody experience their own thing. Like, it's so customized to your own issues that you can't say, if this person is going through this, I'm also going to go through this. You have to ride your own waves. And most people in an ayahuasca ceremony, what they do wrong is that they want to catch the waves. They don't want to ride them. So again, when I'm telling you a story, I might be telling you a story that was something that will never happen to you and just get you to be anxious about nothing. But let's talk about the technical parts of it. Make sure you're clicking on the like and subscribe thing and making sure that you are following me, so that, I mean, whatever I do, these things, whenever I do them, God knows how that calendar works. I tried to make it work, it doesn't work, so I've given up. I just do the videos when I'm inspired to do them, and I know somebody needs to hear about that. So let's talk about the technicalities. Can you do it if you are pregnant? That has been the question that has been coming through a lot over the week. Yes, you can do it if you are pregnant, but do not be heavily pregnant, because it's just uncomfortable by itself. And being pregnant is uncomfortable. You don't want to, I don't think you want to mix two uncomfortable things together. Now, when you're pregnant, the only thing that you must think of is your weight. Normally, after the ceremony, you will lose weight. So if your weight is good, like you have a lot of weight, then you can definitely do it. But if your weight is less, like you are not at the good weight that the doctors want you to be at, I would say don't do it, because then you will lose weight after the ceremony. So when you're pregnant, you can do it, but I always check people's weight against their pregnancy time, and then making sure that because I know that you will lose like 3 kgs later on, like, depending on how much you wanna keep that up. But I don't wanna have a pregnant woman lose weight, because that is not good for a pregnant woman. So, but if you are overweight already, then go ahead. Or if you are in a right amount of weight, then it's fine. Can a child do it? Yes, children can do it. So, but I normally say I want a child that is like 15 up, because what normally happens in kids, they actually respond to the medicine way better than us. Now, all of us, when we were in our mother's womb, now, I always say, if I knew, I wouldn't have done this, but maybe my children deserve the suffering I caused them during my pregnancies. All my 3 kids, when I was pregnant with them, I was studying like the heaviest of heaviest. When I was with my first daughter, I was in matric. I was writing matric exams. It was a dramatic thing. She went through so much because of all the anxiety I was under trying to write matric and making sure that I passed with an exemption. And I got that. I got so many B's. Like, I was just like, damn, if I wasn't pregnant, I was going to get A's. Damn it. But everybody was shocked. How do you get pregnant exactly like then? And then now you get best good marks, like you studying maths and science and all these things in higher grades, and Ganti, Jesus, what are you? So when I was pregnant with my daughter, that was that. When I was pregnant with all my children, the other one I was doing a business diploma. The other one I was doing a real estate diploma. Going through exams, going through like a whole, oh God. So every time when I got pregnant, I started studying something that was going to stress me to hell. So when you're stressing, when you're pregnant, there are hormones like cortisol and all these things that are deposited in your baby. That is why then the baby comes out already messed up. I mean, I can see this in my kids. I can see it. But of course, thank goodness, now I can able to help them heal from those things. So normally we should give ayahuasca to a child. They get comforted, because specifically ayahuasca is good for children. San Pedro is gonna make them run like a headless chicken. Yeah, you don't wanna give your children San Pedro. It makes you an adult run like you crazy. I mean, like, who wants children that are running around like nobody? But ayahuasca gives them that mother's love. Like, and they not, remember, their ego is small, doesn't have a lot of issues, so their ego doesn't fight. That is why it makes it so much easy for children. One of the ceremonies that we were doing it with a girl that was, she was what, 14 or 15. Oh my goodness. Oh, it was actually San Pedro. Oh my goodness. Like, her energy kept the whole, how many of us were we? Maybe 12, 13. Her energy kept everybody so good, because she was experiencing it all, but in a lighter, better way. Oh my goodness, that child was amazing. So yes, kids can do that. Lerato says, how to spell the treatment? What do you mean spell? Okay, Lerato, write again. I don't know what you're asking. Write again. Okay, Lerato says, it is the weight loss only for the practice or for all of us? No. Everybody loses weight. So, but I'm just saying, because pregnant women need their weight. Remember, the baby eats from the weight. I think, I'm not sure. I don't know how that works, but apparently, like, I know every time I was pregnant, the doctor was like, the weight. Well, I was fat. I mean, so the weight was a lot. It's either a lot or it's too little. So there's the weight. But everybody, oh, Loretta, you want to know this definition? Okay, so go to my post on Instagram. You will see the poster that has ayahuasca. That's how it's spelled. Sorry. Yeah, go to my post. You'll see it there in my post in my Instagram. Okay, yeah, the weight loss is for everybody. So if you are not pregnant and you definitely need to lose weight, you are gonna lose weight. If you don't have weight to lose, you are going to it will be like something that will happen, but you will gain it back quickly. So yeah, it's just that most of the times you lose your appetite and you don't eat as much as you normally would eat because your body is healing. Remember, when our body is just like animals, you stop eating when you are healing. You stop eating. So then at this time, the medicine will not allow you to eat because it needs your energy for the healing. So that is why even before the ceremony, we say, do not eat that whole day. Only eat fruits. Do not put things in your system because you're gonna need the energy when that fight is happening. Color, you'd better have energy for to color right. Okay, so oh my goodness, there's a charger thing here. Sorry guys, 1 second. Yeah, me today. Okay. Mapri says, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mapri. Angie says, I'm here for the weight loss and not the. Oh, Angie, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You must have the drama and the weight loss. The suffering is going to happen now. Okay, so, oh, my nose is running. So, blind guy, how are you? Good day to you all. Busi, I'm soaking up this information. Plant medicine is the core of all medicine. So, thank you for giving the info. Thank you so much for joining us. We haven't seen you in so long. Thank you for joining us. So, okay. Damn, I almost forgot. All right, we're going back to the technical part. Can a person who pregnant? Yes, we talked about this. Now you need to prepare your body in advance for this medicine. The preparation time is about 2 weeks, but it's fine if you don't have 2 weeks. So you need about a week of preparing your body. This week, you are going to refrain from eating things that are chemically high. So you must try to eat more things that are good organic things like real food. So real food is like fruits, vegetables, things that are real, like real food, not cornflakes and those kind of things. So the whole entire 7 days, you are almost in a fast. Think of like Daniel fasting. I think a lot of us know what Daniel fasting, the things you eat during Daniel fasting is the things that you're supposed to be doing that week. Then the last day, you don't eat at all because we need all that energy. When you don't eat, you have more energy to deal with things. So technically, you can't, and in that week, you can't drink alcohol at all. You can't. With ayahuasca, you can have sex, but it's not important. Don't do it. With San Pedro, absolutely no sex. Because sex takes energy, and San Pedro, you definitely gonna need it. So the people who have had sex during a San Pedro say, uzobabona, bayabonakala, bayagoisha a little bit more. You need things that will take energy from you. Is processed food, is things like sex. You need the energy. Your body needs the energy. So you have to make sure that whole week you load up on the energy. I'm not in terms of food, in terms of vibration. Okay, so it's drinking water. Technically, that is very good because the water helps things to move quickly. So if you have drank enough water, you will see that your ups and your downs in that wave riding will be better than just any, like when you are hydrated. So drinking water is important. What am I forgetting on the technical bits? Somebody is saying, okay, on Instagram, would you recommend for someone on antidepressant? I have seen Lerato, is it Lerato? Yeah. I've seen so many people who on antidepressant take ayahuasca and never ever take that pill again. So, but if you are on antidepressant, you need to talk to me first so that we do it the correct way. I don't want you to suffer more than the normal suffering. But people who are on antidepressant, when they finish this, they come out of that stuff. If they don't totally come out, they go back to a very minimal dose, and then soon they're able to get off it. Maybe they do another ceremony and then they're out of them that. But you need to tell me. So of course there's a whole entire form that you fill in that is helping me to do your dosage, that is helping me to know what we're dealing with. You need to tell me things like, am I currently menstruating, da. I ask you all those hard questions. Did you drink alcohol? When was the last time you drank it? Because I have to make sure that I give you the correct dose. At the ceremonies, they don't ask much, they just hope for the best. Like, I don't know, I'm that person that just like wanna control things, be like, I'm sure. So yeah, there are a lot of questions that I would ask you that will help me to know what a dosage I must give you. And for, like I said, even check your chart just so that I can put in some sauce in your thing. Okay, K says, I once smoked weed. I was hallucinating. Iyo, kako wish. I made a promise to never ever smoke weed again. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, me also, I can't smoke weed, unfortunately. Well, the weirdest thing about me is that I never wanted to do ayahuasca or San Pedro. Like I said, it just happened that I happened to be there. Now, giving it to somebody, nah. So there are people who have done mushrooms and they do it just to be high. Me, I am so scared of being high. I am so scared of being high that I promise you, when it's alcohol drinking, I can't drink more than 4 glasses of alcohol. The more I get drunk, the more I get scared. Literally. That is just, I don't know how, like, I have never blocked. When a person is blocked, they say, I don't know what happened at the alcohol place. I do not get there. Even if I can squeeze the alcohol in and try to get to 6 dumpies, which I will probably feel like I'm dying. I am so scared of being high. So every time. So I can't do weed. The only time when I did weed, I felt like I was on San Pedro, but it was dark. That was the problem about the weed. It wasn't light. It was dark. Like I was having dark thoughts. Hey, oh guys, like really dark ones. Like you it so when I was in San Pedro and when you're in ayahuasca, you have the thoughts. So the ego and the higher self is discussing issues, but for your better good. Now, when I was on weed, no, the conversation was different. It was dark. Hey, toxic, dark. So me, weed, never see me. I will never nami keke nami. I will never. Apparently, ke thina abantu bakaNkosi vele akumelanga sibheme insangu vele siyasangana basho njalo. So hey. Okay, so I think I've covered everything that was in the questions. I've covered the technical parts, I've covered the emotional parts. I'm not going to cover the spiritual part because I can't really explain it. Because spiritually, people have so many spiritual entities they work with. There is actually a whole entire video that I'm going to do next week talking about the 7 dimensions of spiritual guides, because a lot of us just know Jesus. And I mean, Jesus is amazing, works for us so much, but we are not tapping into all the other dimensions of spiritual guides, like angels, for instance, and all the other things. we're missing out on the fun. So I'm gonna do a whole entire video. That's gonna be like an hour. I'm gonna talk about those seven levels. But in the ayahuasca ceremony, you experience a lot of spiritual things. But I don't want to discuss that because that is just one area that everybody deals with their own spirit guides, the way they deal with them. But what I can tell you is that you can hear them better. You can understand your spiritual guides better. But I'm just not gonna discuss that now because it will just be weird. I don't I don't want you guys thinking I'm not okay, my hate. Now we start talking about those kind of stuff. But it's a good thing because you don't have to do anything about it in the ceremony. It's not, it doesn't affect you. It's a good thing. It's like a progression. It doesn't affect you. So which is a good thing. Spiritual things are the easiest. Once spiritual things happen in the correct way, it doesn't bother anybody. That's why I always say to people, why do people want to kill a chicken and a goat and a what? Spiritual things are so easy. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't kill a chicken and a goat. I'm definitely not saying that. I mean, definitely not saying that. But I'm saying spiritual things are very easy. You actually don't need a chicken, but if you need one, you use it. You know. Yes. And I'm definitely not saying you guys shouldn't use chickens. I'm not. I'm just saying you could make it easy, but you know. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for coming through. We're gonna have the next ayahuasca ceremony on the 28th of October. There are dates for November. I think 19 November is gonna be another San Pedro session. There's gonna be a ayahuasca and a San Pedro session every month. If you would like to join us, please come through. We do this ayahuasca ones in the evening. We do the San Pedro ones in the morning. So we go through the whole day. I'm gonna leave here my PA's number. You can send a WhatsApp 061 15867. My priest says I can't wait for the guys session. Yes, Mama, yes, as the Kali ones. So I've put on the number there on the Instagram 061 221 5867 and also here. So just make sure that you send my PA a message or an email pa@busiselesho.com, pa@busiselesho.com. You can send a WhatsApp or an email and just tell her you want to come to a session. She will give you the dates that are available. At this current moment, the sessions are very, 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 very affordable. They're only at 1.5. They're not going to stay like that because it's like a lot of money to get me the medicine here. It's a lot of money. Like it takes like a lot of energy. So, but the 1.5 is just one amount that everybody can afford quickly, like normally if you can check other people, they do the ceremonies for about 4.5. So but so for now it is what it is. It's 1.5. I don't know when it's going to change. Which changes, I don't know. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Please make sure that you click on the like button so that you can see the other videos. Next week I promise I'll do the 7 levels of the guides. Make sure you have clicked on the like or subscribed, or make sure that you are liking, or if you share it will come up also because Facebook will think you want more of this. It will show you when I'm doing a video, but I will definitely do one. We need to talk about that. We really need to talk about that. Like, it's so critical. It will answer so many of your questions, but then we don't have the time for it today. It's almost 1 hour. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely Friday. We are going to be wishing the whole entire night. Tomorrow I hope to go and play golf, but hey, thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.